So I'm Ripper Ryden. I'm
Hi,
the
Ripper.
cousin. I'm just over here hanging out for a little bit. Got my pit vipers on. Got my new jersey, my Coors Light jersey.
Oh, that's
So
nice. I really like that Coors Light. You look good in yellow.
I appreciate that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Erik, Ryden Dirty.
What
Put your
up?
hands together.
Here I am in the flesh.
Holy cow, how you doing?
Good man. I mean, just living the whole YouTube life and trying to be a full-time dad, husband, and full-time chef all at once. It's wild.
Really, your plate is stupid full right now.
Yeah, nonstop. I mean, like fitting in YouTube recently has been a little rough just because, there's just so much going on with, my whole lifestyle these days and just trying to fit everything in and have the time to ride, to have fun, to film and do all the important things that matter in life. So it's been a little wild for the last month.
Well, then I feel honored that you would take the time out to talk to this little kid.
Absolutely. You don't ever hesitate to ask.
But then you say you've got a daughter?
Yeah, I got a 7-year-old daughter and I have a 20-year-old daughter as well, but she's in the military and she's out in Kansas right now, about 20 years old. So
You have you're old enough to have a kid that's 20?
yeah, I'm 40 actually, believe it or not.
Oh, wow. I would have
Yeah.
gone younger.
Nope, definitely 40. I mean, I don't feel younger. I'm trying to stay young, so I keep riding bikes every day. So
and wife and dogs, cats.
no animals for us. I used to do the dog thing. I had a really big what is it? The old English bulldog, not the little short ones, but the really big ones that are like, yeah, big burly. He was about 110 pounds. His name was Dude. I had him, and then once he passed away, I was kind of like, I don't really want to do the dog life right now. It's just, it's a lot of work, and I'm always on the go, trying to travel and go mountain biking and all that, and it's really hard when you have like animals everywhere. So we kind of put a little bit of a break on that for the moment. So
Yeah, it's the dog thing, man. It's tough when you lose. It's hard to. My wife, we lost ours during COVID. Didn't get COVID, but we lost in 2020.
Yeah.
And my wife was looking like 3 days later for like replacement because she can't do the silence in the house because we don't have kids.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not ready.
Yeah, man, it's hard, man. Like it's like in your heart you want another one, but also in your heart you're like, I don't know if I'm ready to like have that void filled by someone else, So
I didn't know if I had it in me.
Yeah. It's a lot of heartbreak when it has to end. So it's just kind of like, oh, do I want to do that?
Let's cheer this up a little bit.
Right? It's got so sad.
It got sad. We're talking about losing animals.
Yeah.
we have a friend in common, and we've met him through Mark.
Yeah. Mark, the man, this segment.
He told me that you're like a chef.
Yeah. I've been a chef for 22 years, believe it or not. I'm
Really?
talking 18 years old, went to it.
Really? Where'd that start out at?
Well, I needed a job. And so I was 18 years old, fresh out of high school, just going like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't even know what I want to do, And somebody was a good friend of mine, really good friend of mine was like, hey, I'm washing dishes over at this place. You want to come check it out? And I was like, I mean, do they pay us decently? He's like, yeah, we'll make over minimum wage. So I was like, all right, let's do it. Turns out that, I was doing dishes, messed around a lot, had a good time being in a kitchen, just like you see on TV. And then somebody asked me, hey, the prep cook just quit. Can you prep cook? And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but you show me something, I can do it. And then next thing you know, like I did really good at it. People liked my food. I got promoted, moved all the way up, became a chef. It was wild. Like for the first 10 years, I couldn't believe it was happening. I was just like, okay, I guess so,
So were you just you didn't go to school? You were just trained on site at this restaurant, or?
Yeah, I picked it up really easy. Like it just was like second nature, like riding a bike for some people. That's how cooking was for me. And like, I didn't really expect it. It just kind of happened, but I did have a family friend growing up who was a chef. And I was always very intrigued on the way he could make food taste, so at that point, I guess, being a young teenager, I became kind of a foodie because I was interested in it, not necessarily knowing, just interested in it. And then growing up, I had sisters and I made them food all the time. So I guess it was just something that was in the works and I didn't realize. And all of a sudden it became, And yeah, so I just been doing it ever since I was 18.
That's great. What is your specialty?
So it's funny you
like,
say that.
What's that?
So it's funny you say that. People always ask me, what's the specialty? And I always hit them with this. I worked mostly in very traditional old school Italian restaurants. And the chef I worked for was very, very, very big on bringing it back to, food's original source and style and cooking. He wasn't so much one of those modern chefs that wanted to like make everything new and different. He was like, how do we get back to the basics to make it perfect the way it was,
Yeah.
And so Italian is like my best at specialty, but my biggest passion is when I became a sushi chef for about 5 years. Yep.
Really? So you're cutting raw fish?
Oh yeah.
You
that one
went from
happened by
Italian to raw fish.
Exactly.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, because you're a chef, are you a snob about sushi or Italian?
Not so much a snob. I mean, I would say
I always wanted to know if other chefs sit there, they just can't go to other restaurants.
No, I can go to restaurants, but it's hard for me to go to restaurants when my expectation is high for that restaurant and they let me down. But to be perfectly honest, I'm not one of those guys that just goes to a bunch of restaurants that are very high end. It's not really my thing, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, just to like see the trends. But for the most part, I'm simple. Like I go to ramen places. That's like my favorite thing to go do is ramen. You know what I mean?
Ramen bowl. Oh my God. There's none in Miami.
Oh God. How's that even possible?
I'm sure there are. I don't know about them. And I'm actually going to have to Google it because I love a good bowl of ramen.
Yeah. That's my jam. And when I go to sushi places, for me, it's not so much looking at it and going, oh, this isn't as good as how I could do it. It's more of like, how much are they charging for this? Because I know how much this costs. You know what I mean? That's my thing.
So now, do you cook at home a lot? Did your wife
a fair amount
hit the jackpot with marrying a chef?
That's why she married me. She loves to eat, and so it was kind of like a win-win on both sides. She wanted someone who would make her really good food that she hadn't grown up on. And I wanted someone who would make me really good Mexican food because my wife's Hispanic. So It was a win-win both ways. Yeah.
So you get the Italian, the Mexican, the Japanese with the sushi.
Yeah.
And the one who really makes out, I guess, is your daughter's.
Oh yeah. My daughter, it's really wild because when my wife was pregnant with my youngest, she ate very healthy, like super healthy. So like my kid will like eat, her favorite food is tomatoes and broccoli, and you would never think, well, don't get me wrong. She likes ice cream. Don't get me wrong. So, yeah.
Yeah. Cause Mark had mentioned, we were talking one day and he said, Erik's crazy, but in a good way, like a fun way. But then he said, you would never know that like, he's this incredible chef.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's like, it's my separate life, to be honest. Like for me, I have to separate work and fun. Like it's a big balance for me, in general. Most people, usually have balance in their life. And for me, it's like, I have to push work away and I don't talk about it that much at all. I mean, not that I don't like what I do because I love what I do. It's just, I don't talk about it. Yeah. It's just, I keep it separate from fun because it's my release to go and have fun and get away and ride bikes and all that. So.
Yeah, you know what? I was talking to a buddy yesterday, and I was telling him I was going on vacation in a couple of weeks. I was going to Iceland, and he's like, "Are you able to disconnect? Like, how long does it take you to disconnect from work to vacation?" I said, and it was yesterday, and I said, "It's Friday. I'm driving home. I've already disconnected."
Yeah, that's me. Once I get in the car, it's over. Like,
it's over. It's done for you. Now, you said something about food trucks yesterday when we were talking. Do you own food?
So the company I work for now, I'm the executive chef of this company, and they're contracted companies. So right now I'm running the food program for a community college. And so our business decided that we wanted to try to venture into a food truck because, we have the money to do it. We have the means to do it. We have a full staff and all that kind of stuff. So we wanted to venture out to bring a little bit more revenue in and also have something for the college kids. So we decided, how about a food truck? We can park it on campus in different spots, do anything from like donuts in the morning
Oh,
to
wow.
sandwiches to tacos at night. You know what I mean? So, it's going to build revenue. And that was the main thing. We're like, let's do it. It'll be fun. And I had never ran a food truck. I've watched everything you could possibly watch on it. And I've had friends who ran like really, really, really good food trucks that were very successful in LA. So I was like, I want to dabble in this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, good stuff.
Okay, since you've already hinted you don't like talking about work, let's transition. Or not even transition. And I always tell everybody when they talk to me, my train derails constantly. So I'll be going here, and then next thing you know, you're
Yeah.
over there. And I don't even know where
And
my
I'll
hands
talk.
are. I don't even know where my hands are. I don't know which hand is which. So, but where do you live? I didn't even know where are you located at?
So I'm in a place called Prescott, Arizona, and I am about an hour and a half north of Phoenix and about an hour south of Flagstaff.
Okay. There was another YouTuber, Instagrammer that just did a race at Prescott.
Yeah, there was it was the Colorado Kid.
Yeah,
The
that's
race.
who I was talking
Yeah.
about. But
Yeah. He
we're
did
talking
really
about
good.
you.
Yeah. He was there. I actually saw him that day, and we met up for just a brief moment. He was doing the race thing. So I didn't know this living in this town that they do a huge mountain bike race once a year. Didn't even know. I wasn't even into mountain biking. And then COVID hit when I actually got into mountain biking. So they postponed everything that was like into mountain biking out here. Shops weren't even open.
Yeah.
And so I've been out here just riding, doing my thing, having fun. And then someone had mentioned like, hey, the Whiskey Off Road's back. And that's the name of the race, the Whiskey Off Road. And I was like, tell me about it. I have no idea. Don't know. And all the locals like, you don't know about the Whiskey Off Road? And I'm like, no, I have no idea. Cause I've only been in Arizona for about 5 years. And so someone's like, dude, you have to go check it out. It's huge race. People come from all over the country to race this race. I'm like, really? And our little tiny town of not too many, town square is tiny, it's a pretty touristy place. So I saw that Joe was going on Instagram, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll meet up with you, man, when you get there and this and that. He's like, well, I'm actually in the race. And I was like, ooh, you're in the race? Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to hang out there. I'm not doing that. It's like, so there's 3 different races. There's like, I believe there's a 20 mile, a 30 mile, and a 50 mile.
Yeah.
And so one thing you need to know, if you ever come to Northern Arizona to ride mountain bikes, good luck finding downhill. You're going to climb your butt off the whole entire day. Yeah. There is no reward around here when it comes to climbing. You're like climbing, and then you go down a little bit, and then you climb some more. Like that is how it is out here. And it's brutal.
See, that's amazing to me. Like, and it's interesting to me as a mountain biker in Miami, which people are just like, what?
Yeah.
Mountain bike. But you say you're climbing. We're always pedaling here. There's no up and down. It's just technical trails and a lot of features, and it really is it's a lot of pedaling.
Yeah. So like for out here, it's the same thing, except like, I mean, we're basically in the valley of like a mountain. There's pines everywhere. I mean, it's beautiful up here. I mean, you're in a forest, and half of the town's in a forest. So it's pretty cool. There's a little tiny town called Prescott Valley, which is right next door where I'm actually living. And so I usually don't say Prescott Valley because the 2 towns combined is only 5 miles like long. So it's not very big,
It's like Mayberry. It's a little
tiny,
town.
And if I try to explain that to someone, they're just like, wait, what? I just say Prescott because that's more known. And what's really funny about that is that it's spelled Prescott, but everyone here, the locals, calls it Prescott.
It's Prescott.
And I'll never understand that.
It's spelled Prescott, but we call it Prescott.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Southern.
Yeah, it's wild.
Where do you hail from originally? You said you've only been there for 5 years.
Believe it or not, I'm from exactly where Mark is from.
So okay.
Marietta, California.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how you get back. But now let's backtrack. Hold the phone. You said you started riding during COVID. That's when you first picked up a mountain bike?
So, well, technically, I picked one up a really long time ago, but I never really got into it because I was a BMXer. And so I picked it up for real. I would say I picked it up for about a year, but I wasn't doing anything close to what I do now. Like I
No.
had a bike and I used to race motorcycles, like street bikes on closed courses, you know,
Mhm.
like the whole AMA MotoGP style. I did that for a couple of years. And so on the off season, a good friend of mine, we wanted to get conditioned. So we started riding mountain bikes and
Oh,
nothing major. There was just like some flat trails that we'd go on, little 12-mile loop, nothing crazy. And that was the whole thing. So I don't really consider myself a mountain biker then. It was just like I had one, I did a little bit, but I didn't really get into it. It was just for another purpose, you know?
yeah. You're in
And
the
then
butt.
eventually, like when I came to Prescott, everyone was like, they're like, this is the mountain biking capital of Arizona. And I'm like, really? How would I
Really?
know
There's no
that?
downhill.
Yeah. And I was just like, it's climbing hills everywhere. I mean, I guess. So I just started watching. I didn't realize where mountain biking had gone because when I was riding, you know, just around those trails that I was riding on, this was back in 2008. So mountain biking has changed completely since then.
Oh
Like it's
man.
gone so far.
It's ridiculous. I've been, and it's hard to believe. I started in Miami and I've lived in Miami. Um, I started over 20 years ago mountain biking,
Wow.
and I've mountain biked. I lived in LA for a little bit. I want to get someone from LA because I need to confirm. There was a place. Have you ever ridden in LA?
No, I haven't actually.
No. Okay, never mind. We'll just cut that out. There was a place that we used to ride. It was like an hour up and like 5 minutes down. It was one of those kind of
Ah, brutal.
climbing. And then I ride in Jackson Hole, Wyoming all the time because my in-laws have a place out there. But
Oh, nice.
I find it really interesting when somebody says, "Oh, I just picked it up a couple years ago," and then I watch you,
Yeah.
and you shred, dude. I
Oh,
mean,
thank you.
it's sick to watch you, and for an old guy like me to watch you, and I'm just like, oh, I don't want to.
It keeps me young, to be honest. Like I would say like my childhood, I didn't really do too much of that stuff. I didn't start doing any extreme sports until I became an adult. And I
Yeah,
felt like my whole life when I was doing these extreme sports that I had to catch up. I had to catch up. I had to catch up, you know? So I push kind of hard and it's just in my personality to push it like all the way. Like it's either all or nothing with me. If I'm not all
yeah.
or nothing, I just don't do it. And like I'll try something, I'll dabble in it, and I'm like, I'm gonna find something else, you know?
Yeah, if it isn't something that you're like full on really interested in, you're just
Yeah.
it's not worth it. What
Yeah. So like
but when did you get bit? Like
so I'll tell you the story. And this is the actual
I
story. This is
love
no
hearing
joke.
the
This is the real
bit
story.
story.
This is how it happened. I've always been a fan of YouTube. Like I've never partaked in it ever. I just like would watch it, and I was always fascinated. I'm like, I could do that. I could make a video. I could do stuff because I used to do lots of videos for all kinds of stuff for people for like little promos. You know, like
Really?
yeah, for the motorcycle team that I was on, I did our little like intro video and did a little like commercial for us. And then I had another friend who she was promoting some she was like a club promoter. So I did a little video for her. And I've always been like really into video editing. I've always loved it. And I made a BMX video back in the day and it was like
Oh
the
wow,
worst
that's
video ever,
cool.
but people loved it, you know, all my friends liked it. And so I was always fascinated with YouTube, watching people do it and watching them do well at it. And then I was like, you know what? I kind of want to do this. So I was just kind of going on there and then living in Prescott, people are mountain biking. And I'm like, I wonder if I could jump a mountain bike. You know, I wonder if I could do that stuff. What if I could learn how to do it, you know? And
Oh,
so my buddy was like, you should do it. And my best friend at the time was like, I'm not going to do it with you. So I guess you're on your own. So I kind of went on this whole path by myself just to see what would happen. And this is what triggered it. This is what did it. This is what got me going. I went on there and I was watching videos and I saw the single track sampler. I have to give it to him as the one person that got me into mountain biking because I saw his video and this was his video talking about how he had just started mountain biking. He was learning how to jump and then he takes a trip to Whistler. And
oh,
so the video was just done so good. It inspired me instantly. I was like, I want to do that. I want to be able to get good enough to go to Whistler and I want to jump a mountain bike and I want to jump and do all that crazy stuff and go fast and all that. And so watching his video, I literally went online and bought the same bike that he rode in that video.
shut the front door.
got the same bike. I was like, it was the Canyon Strive 6.0 29er. That's what started it.
So you're telling me like YouTube is actually kind of an influence for you to go riding and to shred, and
absolutely,
that's crazy. Like you were more, but not even about the riding, or was it? It was more about the riding, or did you were like, I want to make videos of me riding?
It was like it was more of like I wanted to share my adventure of what I'm about to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the mountain biking, I want to take you along on this journey of me trying all this.
Yes. And so like that's where the inspiration of the videos even started was I want to try this and see how far I can go and see how far I can get. And I would say I kind of derailed a little bit because I just started making all kinds of videos. Like I kind of stopped the whole like, this is me learning to jump. This is me learning to jump to here's a video of me learning how to fix my bike. Here's a video of me learning how to redo my suspension. You know what I mean? And then it just became everything. And then it became me just screwing around, having fun and laughing with friends, you know, like, and then I kind of liked I liked entertaining people, you know, and like some people are really good at it. I'm okay at it at times, but I just have fun doing it because I just love sharing what I'm doing with other people, and some people like it. So I like that about
it. I find that interesting. I find that cool. You're I don't even know how to put this in words. You wanted to share your adventures. You were like, I want to learn how to mountain bike, but I also want to share it, or I want to learn to be really good at mountain biking.
Yeah.
And I want to like, so it was a combined thing. It wasn't like, oh my God, mountain biking. Did you see that? I dropped that. And, or I did this, or I cleared that route or something. It was like, oh, I like mountain biking.
Yeah.
And I like putting the videos together. It was the two combined.
Yeah.
That's the first story I've ever heard from that.
Yeah. And what's even funnier now it's kind of evolved into like, you know, I like sharing, you know, different kinds of bikes. Cause when I used to race motorcycles, I went through bikes pretty quick, not because I broke them, not because like they weren't any good, because I wanted to try them all out. I wanted to try Suzuki. I want to try Kawasaki. I want to try Honda. I want to try all of them. So I would buy a bike, ride it for a couple months, sell it, ride a bike, couple months, sell it, ride a bike till I found the one I want. It's all about finding the one, you know?
Yeah.
And so I do the same thing with mountain bikes. Like in the last year, I've had like 6 mountain bikes, you know?
Wow.
And so it's because I want to ride them all. I want to try them all, you know? It's a little rough on the bank account at times.
Yeah, I was going to say, I had one bike for 10 years and then I got the new one, but
I mean, the thing is, I know that I have to sell one every time I do it. So I make sure I do that every time. And that's kind of like what you were saying. Like it was the combination of all those things. You know, I want to try all the bikes. I want to get good on the bikes, and I want to make the videos. And it was just like this whole thing just spiraled out of control, becoming Ryden Dirty.
That is one of the most interesting stories. And the single track
started it, man.
Alexander kind of pushed you into like you were moved. You were not moved.
No, I was moved.
But,
I was moved.
Are you still inspired by certain YouTubers and Instagrammers? Or have you gotten to the point where you're like, okay, I've gripped the ground on my own. I can go.
I would say like there's still a lot of people I love to watch on YouTube. And like one of my top favorite person to watch is Dylan Stark. I just think Dylan Stark is a beast, and he's very like not so much trying to be like that mainstream guy. He just does his own thing, and that's what I love about it, you know? And he's a beast on a bike. He's a beast on a bike.
Dylan Stark.
I'm telling you, he's a wild man.
You know, I try to make it my job because you and here comes the train again, derailing. Back to what you were saying, how you went from, you know, you're riding and learning and showing it to fixing your bikes and maybe like, hey, I got new shoes or whatever. You have a variety of things, and that's, I got to tell you, that's where I find the difficulty in my little channel here. And I've been trying to like, maybe I need to branch a little bit.
You always got to branch. You never know.
I'm trying to branch a little bit more on the Instagram, but I feel like just mountain bike Q&A doesn't just mean I mean, it kind of does. The Q&A, but I feel like people need a little something maybe to know a little bit more about me and showing.
Yeah.
And is that where you found, because I'm learning, you're already, again, established.
Yeah.
I'm kind of learning in this is that you kind of need to evolve.
Yeah, I would say that.
Is that why you felt like you needed it? Did you feel like you needed to show us how you were working on your bike or your new products, new parts, or you just felt like you liked the creative process of it?
Yes, I definitely, I would say the creative process for me is the most fulfilling part. But I would say the branching out wasn't necessarily a planned idea. It was like, hey, I'm going to do this. Because here's the beautiful thing about YouTube and creating videos. You're the content creator, you're the boss. No one can tell you otherwise. It doesn't matter. This is why it's so good, because no one can tell you what you can and can't do. You'll learn what's successful and what's not successful, but regardless of success, you do what you want. And that's why this platform is so awesome, because it doesn't matter what I do. I remember, what was it? Last New Year's, a good friend of mine, we were hanging out, having a New Year's party. And I posted this video that was like 10 seconds long of nothing. And me and him were having a little bit of fun with, some beverages. And it got like 5,000 or 3,000 or 5,000 views. And I don't know why. And it was like 10 seconds long, had nothing to do with bikes. And I got so many thumbs down on it. It was hilarious. And so, but for me, I just go, you know what? I'll do whatever I want, whenever I want,
And you nailed it, man, by saying we're our own bosses.
Yeah.
When I started, I've been on TV for 20 some years, and I felt like after COVID, I was a movie critic, and COVID kind of killed the movies for a while. And I'm like, I just want to recreate. I wanted to connect. I wanted to, reinvent myself. And I love mountain biking. I love interviewing people. I love meeting people. And that's the thing. We don't need to do anything. You said it. We got no boss.
Yeah.
And I love it. I've had people go, you know what you need to do, Johnny? And I go, I know what I need to do, and I'm doing it.
Whatever I want.
Like, I don't need anyone else's input.
No.
And my wife actually was nice enough to tell some people at one point, it was just like, don't tell Johnny what he should be doing. You know what he should be doing?
No.
Like, have you ever had that kind of
all the time? All the time. And it's just like, and here's the thing, like, I think a lot of people's intentions when they tell you that, they're good intentions.
They're good intentions, exactly.
And here's the golden rule that I learned is never tell your friends or family about your YouTube channel.
Oh, I effed that up.
Well, I mean, I do it too. You know why? Because they're never going to watch it. You have to gain your new friends that are out there in that world. You know what I mean? And those are the people that are wanting to come and watch you do what you do. Yeah. Those are the people that matter. And it's such a huge audience out there that you just haven't touched them yet. But when you do, and they like what you're doing, they're going to keep coming back for more. And people forget that. And
I think I was following you before the Mark thing. I never know anymore, because it's funny doing what I do. And I tell people I make it my job.
Yeah.
To watch a lot.
Yeah, you got to watch a lot.
I have a lot of downtime in my job as a photographer. So when I'm not shooting, I'm seriously YouTubing. Mm-hmm. And I'm going on your page, but then I'm clicking on someone else that commented on your page.
Oh yeah.
I see them out, but like, I'm trying to get to know all these people.
Yeah.
And do you find yourself trying to keep up with that, like say on your Instagram or?
So I always respond to comments, and the only time I won't respond to a comment is when I don't see it, because sometimes they get buried and I just don't know they're there. So whenever I have a video that, tends to do well on Instagram, mm-hmm. I'll have to go back and like look through it and try to get everyone's comments, because I try to respond. I want that to be personal. I want them to know that like, you being a fan supports me on my craft, and I want you to know that like I appreciate every single person that has ever left one comment, even if it's a terrible comment. I still like it. Those are my favorite ones. I leave the funniest responses to those. And
this is where I was going with this. Was it's a lot of work. Do you find this? You ever sit back and go, well, wait a minute, let me pump the brakes?
Oh, it's overwhelming. It's brutal.
YouTubing, Instagramming. I don't know if you have a TikTok. I don't.
I do have a TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm about to hit 1,000, or I just hit 900 on that one.
Like it gets.
Oh yeah. I mean, so here's the thing. Like, I've learned so much, and like I would say all my closest friends now are all like social media mountain bikers. Those are my friends now. Like, I don't really bother with anybody who's not doing what I'm doing, because I don't have time to hang out with you because I'm going to go ride my bike, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're not into the scene, I kind of just like lost touch with everyone I used to talk to. And it's not because it's a bad thing. It's just that this is what I'm into, and I want to jump on it and have as much fun as I can the whole time I'm doing this. And those are the people who respond that want to go hang out. You know what I mean? They're like, let's go ride.
You're funny that you're saying that, because my wife is a huge fan of the segment now. And she fucking loved you when I said that I was interviewing you. She
Nice.
Freaked out. But I should move to SoCal.
Oh my God.
Like
I'm regretting that I left.
You're seeing, because you still go, right?
Oh yeah. I'm there back. Twice a month.
Yeah, I see you riding with the Trail Dogs, or
yep.
Or Mark, you were at YT Mills and getting Laura. I was telling my wife, I'm like, I really should move there.
Oh, dude, if you were there, it's the capital at this point, in my opinion. You know, like there's like the Bentonville and all that, but I haven't seen a ton of people. Like, maybe it's just because the algorithm hasn't given them to me yet, but I haven't seen like this group like I see in SoCal. You know what I mean? Like the SoCal group is like just massive. There's just so many people, and I've met so many like good friends now. Like I hang out with the Trail Dogs no matter what, every time when I'm in California. No matter what.
Are you an honorary Trail Dog?
I'm a part of the Wolf Pack, put it that way.
Okay, we'll let you slide.
Yeah, I'm part of the Wolf Pack. I even have a jersey that says Wolf Pack on the back. So, but I'm just like, I'm always with the Trail Dogs. And the Trail Dogs, there's a lot of them. There's like, I believe there's 6. I could be wrong. Don't be mad at me, dogs, but I believe there's 6.
That was a question I was going to ask. How many? So there's 6. That's the answer.
I believe there's 6. I could be wrong. So I've hung out with 4 of them. I hang out with 4 of them.
Do they always wear the same jerseys at the same time when they ride?
No, not always.
Okay. No. They can just wear a t-shirt sometimes, or do they?
I mean, a t-shirt that says Trail Dogs. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, the Trail Dogs, they're a blast, man. They're like the funnest guys. And Aaron, he's the guy I ride with the most. Aaron's the one that really like hit me up on Instagram probably in 2021, maybe. Maybe it's only 2020.
It's only been a couple of years since you've been doing it. So
yeah, right. So I want to say it was 2020 when he first hit me up, and we rode Sedona together. And all the Trail Dogs came in. That's where I met him. They came out because the Sedona Mountain Bike Festival got canceled one year. And so since it got canceled, they had already made plans to come to Sedona Mountain Bike Festival. So they just came anyway, and they hit me up because they knew I was in Arizona. And they're like, hey, we're going to come out there. You want to ride? So I was like, yeah. And at that time I was absolutely terrible at riding. Like I had no stamina.
Really?
My diet was terrible. I couldn't keep up with them. They're all young dudes. I'm 40. They're all in their like early mid 20s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they're all fit. And I'm just like trying to keep up with these guys, you know, and I'm just like, oh God. I was like, I have a problem here, you know? And so like hanging out with them is like really pushed me to get a lot better. And I always hang out with Aaron. Like I said, Aaron's the Trail Dog I hang out with the most.
So the guy I met. Do you remember?
No, that was Isaiah.
Oh, okay.
That was Isaiah. Yeah, that was Isaiah. Isaiah is Aaron's brother.
So has the Trail Dogs, they take you on? Do you feel like you got better riding with them, or is that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because if you don't push yourself to ride with the Trail Dogs leave you behind.
You're back there.
Yeah. I mean, because they don't really leave anyone behind on group rides. Everyone stays with them. Everyone's, you know, with the Trail Dogs, they don't leave anyone behind, but they're fast and they're fit. And so I wasn't fit. So I was like, you know what, guys, you guys go ahead. I'm gonna take a break, you know? So I had to really change what I was going to do if I was going to ride with people, you know? And, you know, to be honest, the only people I ride with ever are YouTubers. That's who I ride with.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know anyone else to ride with. You know what I mean? I only ride with YouTubers.
Dude, I say this all the time. It's the sad state of affairs right now is that I have no one to ride with. I'm a lone wolf when I ride.
I get it. I was there.
I'm a lone wolf. Well, my friends moved. The people that I used to ride with, they moved, and I like
Oh,
now
wow.
I'm. And there are some YouTubers down here that I'm like, I'm thinking about trying to
Yeah.
reach out to them.
Oh, you got to,
Would
man.
you ride ones a little bit? But yeah, it's and enough about me. This is about you, Mister.
No, no, I want to talk about that. That is a good
But
thing. Because
but
here's the
yeah, I want
thing.
to reach out. Have you ever gotten to the
So
point? Let's say in Prescott,
yes.
have you
So
ever
here's what I
reached out
did.
to a YouTuber there?
This is what I did. The very first YouTuber I ever rode with, very first one, his name is Drew Enthused. Okay. Drew rides a hardtail. Yeah, write this down. Like Drew is the
I'm a
man.
hardtailer.
He's the one that got me into it. Like as far as like riding in Phoenix, because I had no one to ride with. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I had no idea who was I going to ride with. You know what I mean? So he was like, "Well, I'm down in Phoenix. There's some cool trails and there's some jumps." And I was like, jumps? Did you say jumps? Because that's the whole point of what I'm doing. So he brought me down, and you'll see some of my videos like way back where I'm riding with Drew. And this is like, I'm talking my first 5 or 6 videos. And he was the one that was like on a hardtail, just shredding and like jumping all these jumps and also learning how to jump as well. But he was already better than me. So I was just like, all right. I hit him up on Instagram or no, on YouTube. He left a comment because I was a Arizona rider. And he's just like, and I was just like, had 10 subscribers, and I'm like, will you be my friend? Can I ride with you? You know? So like that's how it started. And then
Sounds like
next thing you
me.
know, all my friends became just like YouTubers. Like that was it. Like I just hang out with more YouTubers, and then other people would join in, and and then I got better. I met more people through the community. Like my friend Jose with an H. That's what I call him. You'll see him on some of my videos. Jose is the guy who actually got me to not be scared of jumps. Like he's the man.
I'm a dead sailor, man.
Yeah, I was too.
I mean, when I was younger, but I'm older now, and I've lost some of it because there's not a lot of jumping down here.
Yeah.
And I was going to post a video today. It was like a 7-year-old video of me in Jackson Hole, and there was a drop off. Mind you, it was like 4 feet.
Yeah.
But I can't even do that now. Like
you could do it.
I probably could. But see, I got to tell you, there's something about a squishy bike that gives me the confidence.
100%.
And in Jackson Hole, it was a serious downhill bike. Yeah. It's not just like your little, whatever, 120, 140.
No, it's a squish.
It is downhill. So like, no matter what you do on it, it is completely forgiving. But here I have a hardtail. And I'm like, I just can't. I don't have the confidence.
Right? Yeah, you just got to do it though, man. It's like what it is like. So my whole saying on my channel, like the logo, the motto has always been start small, go huge.
Yeah,
that's what I started along. Like in the first 3 videos, that's what I just started saying. I have shirts that say start small, go huge. Like that was my whole thing, because I'm starting small and I want to go huge. I want to go to the biggest jump there is in my learning abilities, but I'm not going to try to hurt myself, even though I've kind of done that quite a bit. Yeah. But it's in the process. But you start small, and it's like if you look at my very first jumping video ever, the jumps were they would fit in this monitor. That's how small they were. That's how big they were. And so that scared the crap out of me. Like scared the living crap out of me. I was just like, I'm gonna die.
I gotta be honest, I don't get scared as much on anything as much as I get I get in my head.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like here there's Virginia Key, and you can look it up. I'll send something to you. It's more of a skills park. Yeah. Like there's one trail that it is my white elephant. I've got to finish it. There's a part that I can't, and it's in my head. I'm 50, and if I fall, it's like a hip, and then it's incredibly steep down. But like when you go up, you don't see where you're going. And the first time I couldn't see where I was going. I looked down, break, because it was like a wall that you got to get down, and it's a skinny.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's the fact that like, were you like that in the beginning? I guess what I'm saying is
yes, I was.
You said you had the little ones, but now I'm watching you. Not even 2 years later, and you're fucking sending it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's, you know what it is? You need someone to tow you in. And I would say somebody, you riding by yourself, is that's what's going to make it like your downfall.
It's
Because
so easy to go, I'll do it tomorrow.
yeah, oh yeah, later, see you later.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, I would say like I never hit really big jumps until somebody named Jesse Barrett, who's a good friend of mine who lives in Phoenix, who built mega jumps down in Phoenix because he's a sender. Dude is a beast, right? So he decided to go out there and start digging all these big jumps in the middle of the desert, right? And I mean, these things are big. They are big jumps. I'm talking a couple of them have about, I don't know, 7, 8 foot lips where you're just like launching off
Yeah,
these 8 foot lips.
I've been on those and I hit the brake when I get to the top.
Yeah, well, these are gaps. They're doubles, so
Oh,
there's no table in the middle. So you either have to
ooh.
commit or you don't make it. And so there's a video that I made called Phoenix Mega Jumps, and my friend Jose hit me up. Jose with an H hit me up on Instagram. That's how I met him. And he goes, "Hey, if you want," I said, "I want to hit these jumps." I said it on one of my videos, and he goes, "Hey," DMs me, "You want to hit those jumps? I'll tow you in." And I was like, "I'll meet you there Saturday." And that's how I met
Wow.
Jose. And Jose was
Right.
pretty, I mean, he's a jumper. He's good. And
Yeah.
so Jose was like, "I'm gonna tow you in, we're gonna do this." And then he took me down there. I hit my first mega jumps, scared the crap out of me. But the key is being towed in. Someone has to tow you in, because all you do is you just go, "All right, I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna stay at your speed and I'm just gonna commit." And once you have someone to tow you in, you'll make it. It's crazy. Like your mind just does it. And even going back to those jumps after I've already hit them, I'm nervous when there's no one to tow me in.
Yeah. I need a friend.
Yeah, you need a friend. You need to hit up all the YouTubers in your area, and you're gonna ride with them.
Please. This guy, I've been riding again, and it's I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm an okay rider. I'm
Oh,
not
I saw you
great.
hit that jump in that picture.
Oh
That's not just
God, that
okay.
was
You're doing
7,
good.
8 years. You
Ah,
want to
so
talk
what?
about it was as big as this monitor. It was like a foot high. But as you say, I've been riding for again 20 some years. I can stay on my buddy makes fun of me because I never fall, I never wreck.
Right?
Like
That's a good quality to have.
I've got some like center of gravity going through me, but there's certain things I can't do. I'm not really good with drops,
Yeah.
and I have never sent.
Well, drops are one of those things that it's so weird. Drops don't bother me as much,
On a
like when it's
squishy, I'm
just a
not worried.
drop. But if it's a step down, which is like where
Yeah.
you have to like jump to a drop, like a step down, those kind of get me a little bit. I'm just kind of like, oh, I'm a little bit scared. But drops don't bother me so much.
Is there something that you haven't, or like a skinny something you don't like, or is there something that,
Skinnies, I haven't really had much skinnies around me to try
yeah.
them. I don't really have a problem with them.
This is what I find interesting is, and this is why I like where you guys live or everyone else in SoCal. I swear I'm gonna I'm just gonna interview you all from you, California, Southern
Yeah,
California,
right.
all because, and I'll get to the community, but it's a different discipline. And
Yeah,
it's interesting. Like I
yeah.
watch the people that do all the downhilling.
Oh
You
yeah,
never see that on the video.
yeah, 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 yeah,
You
yeah.
see the fun downhill and
Oh
the
yeah,
sending and the
yeah.
chunk and stuff. Here, I'm not kidding. Virginia Key and other, there's a few other ones just kind of flowy. It is a skills park, and they built it. They quote when they first started, it was like a place for a family to ride. Not anymore, dude. Like I've been riding for 20 years, and there's a trail back there that I won't finish.
Really?
Like it's crazy. So I
Is it
think
like, is it lots of consequence, like big consequence stuff? Is that why?
yeah, there's a lot. It's a lot of wooden features.
Okay.
Well, because we had a hurricane that just completely ruined the entire island that it's on.
Oh, I believe it.
So now Hurricane Irma, and they built wooden features over all of the downed trees. So one trail is almost all skinnies. It's like 90%. And
Is
by
it like,
skinny, I
are they
mean it's
really
like
tall?
2 feet wide.
Are they really tall? Like fall off, or what
Yeah,
is it?
there's some that you'll fall off of. There's the one that I told you they hit. You go up, you don't see where you're going, and you get and it's
I
steep.
think I think I've seen that in a video actually.
Oh, and you fall on that. You're falling on wood.
Is there like swamps right next to it, like on both sides or one side or something? Or
No,
like water?
that's well, no, there's not. That's God, I think that's on the West Coast. That's Alafaya. That's really good. We got South Florida gets a bad rap.
Right?
We've got a lot of great stuff, but I'm jealous of your discipline of, and you said you do a lot of climbing, but you also do a lot of downhilling. You go to SoCal.
Yeah.
Do you have any place in where you live that you're like you want to shout out? I mean,
I would say our local mountain that I'm about 10 minutes from is called Mingus Mountain. And it's got a pretty good downhill there. It's got a double black diamond called Trail 28 that is like very brutal. Like it's a brutal trail. And I'm talking, it's not rocky as in there's little rocks. I'm talking like you're just constantly going over boulders and then there's just a cliff on the other side. So if you don't do it right, you're going to get real hurt. And the rocks here are very sharp.
Is that the one I watched one? I actually commented. It was just like nice downhill with a side of chunk.
Yeah.
Was that it?
Yeah, that was it.
That looked painful. It didn't even look
was
fun.
No, it wasn't fun. That time I went, I was miserable. I'm like, why did I do this? And I think because we had like some major monsoons happening and it just like the trail just got eroded. Like it's just like, it is insane. And I haven't hit it since because I don't want to hit it. But right next to that trail, we have another one that's called 533 that is just, like you get some really cool downhill, but then you're going to pay the price to go back up. And then you go up and then you go up again. And then you get like the most awesome 10 minutes of downhill where you're just flying. It's like two miles downhill.
Where's your nirvana? Where's your utopia? If you ride, where do you love to go? Where is that place?
Like, where do I want to go or where do I go now?
Where do you go now that's like it?
Snow Summit.
Snow Summit?
Hands down, Snow Summit.
Where's
That's
that?
in California, Big Bear Mountain.
Okay.
Yeah, hands down. That is my utopia. That place is my favorite place to ride. Most favorite place to ride.
And what is it about that place? Is it just such a variety or good big hits for you?
Here's what it is. It's got a lot of really good jumps that were built perfect to where you send them and you feel safe every time. And the thing is, the park's not that big. Like I grew up snowboarding there my whole life. And then all of a sudden I leave Arizona to Arizona. Then I go back and ride mountain bikes there. It's weird, but it's only got maybe like 6 runs, the whole mountain, but they're not that long. So you can do lap after lap after lap. I'll do like 10 laps, if not more in a day. And I won't even stop to eat because I'm having so much fun. And
is it a lift park?
Yeah, it's a lift park. So it'll take you right to the top, go down. And the thing is, it's just built so good. It's just built so perfect. And you're just like, how does this exist? This is the best thing on the planet. I've ridden a few.
I gotta be honest. I've been down here where if you stop pedaling, you just fall.
Right.
You fall off your bike. You have to pedal nonstop. And I love the parks where they take you up.
Oh man.
And you don't
nothing like it
at all.
There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
You're nothing like it. It's so amazing. What about wow? Look at this. Now that the sun's starting to go down.
Now you have the perfect lighting ever.
But like I'm all green and green. I'm feeling good here.
So good.
Where are you at now? Right now, totally off the subject. Let people know. You were in an RV?
Yeah, I'm in my RV right now. I decided that I'm going to try the RV life for a couple of years. I actually started another channel and I haven't really figured out how I'm going to go about doing it because I already have this channel and it's really hard to do 2 channels, but started another channel. Had a little brief video that was only about a minute long on there. And I haven't really done anything else because my whole philosophy right now is that I want to get minimal in life.
That's amazing. Now, is it a 5th wheel or is it a full-on drivable RV? Or
so here's the neat thing about this one that I just got. I just got it last Tuesday, actually. I had one before that was just a regular tow pool. And this one's a tow pool as well. But this one is modeled after a 5th wheel. So it's basically designed, same floor plan as this certain 5th wheel that I wanted, but it's actually a bumper pool. So I'm pretty stoked. I just got it. It's 2 bedrooms. I would show you, but my wife might kill me right now.
Yeah.
But it's relatively the size of like bigger than my apartment that I had in California.
Is it a Jayco?
It is a Jayco. Yeah. Jaycos are the nice ones, man. If you know Jayco, you know.
No, that's I just threw that out there. I've been one of those, there's the van lifers.
Yeah.
And I go,
oh, no, thanks.
I want an RV. So I've always talked about, renting the house out.
Oh, yeah.
She only lived once.
Yeah.
And we've talked to me and my wife and I, excuse my bad grammar. It talks about renting the house out and just living off that income.
We're thinking about the same thing.
And I was like, you know what? And I've always been a big fan of the Jayco.
Yeah.
And I'm not sponsored, Jayco. If you want to, it'd be fine. You want to give Mr. Ryden Ripping Dirty. How'd you come up with that?
Did it just come to you? I didn't want it to be, I didn't want to name my channel after something that was MTV. Not because there's anything wrong with that, but I didn't want to be stuck with that name. So I didn't put MTV in my name. And that's the only reason I didn't do that. And I was thinking, what can I do that's going to catch attention? That was the whole thing behind it. What am I going to do to catch attention? And I realized to catch attention, I had to do something that, makes you go, well, what are they doing over there? Kind of like what's going on, So I was like, well, if I put Ryden Dirty, there's going to be 500 other people who have the same thing. So that's not going to work. So I just decided to do the weird RYDEN Dirty. And then I realized, the song Ryden Dirty. And I just wish so bad that I could put that in an intro and use it, except I'll get copyright claimed up the ass. So I really wanted to, but I just couldn't. But it was just, I don't know, a stupid name that I came up with, and it worked. And I was like, see what happens, with no subscribers. I'll see what it does.
It's interesting with the names. Like mine was so, what am I doing?
Right.
Asking questions and answers about mountain biking.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I have a friend that has a very successful YouTube page, not mountain biking. He actually kind of I think he's one of those that can actually live off his YouTube.
Oh, nice.
And he just said his greatest advice was just start it.
Yeah.
Like, what are you waiting for? Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was sitting there looking, I'm trying to.
There's no rules.
Yeah. And all this, like, what do I need? How do I get this? I spent 6 months doing that. And finally I just said, no, mountain bike Q&A. I'm asking questions about mountain bike.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had some dude I will update that logo at some point, but I just had some dude create a logo. And it was like, I mean, is that how you just like, let's just do it?
No, I had no logo. I just went for it. And I mean, I've made logos after that, but I didn't have anything. I just was like, all right, here we go. See what happens. I don't know. I had no idea.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I've noticed a lot of YouTubers that are pretty successful. They've been changing their YouTube names, and not like completely different. Just like, so for instance, like biking with Bobo. Like I love biking with Bobo. Like he's the only Patreon, or has a Patreon. He's the only one that I give money to out of all the YouTubers. He's the only one, because I loved him since day one. I thought he was hilarious.
Yeah, genius.
Yeah, and so he changed his to just Bobo, which I thought was pretty smart, And then
he's gotten to that point.
Yeah, and my buddy Travis. So Travis is another friend I met on obviously YouTube, because that's the only friends I have now.
Yeah,
and he was T Coble, because that's his last name, Coble MTV. So it's Travis Coble MTV, and like we never got to ride together, but we're always constantly commenting on each other's stuff. And he told me, he's like, dude, we actually made a video. He had me collaborate with him and make a video, because he's taken the MTV off of his name. So he wanted to make a video because of it. And it was like this funny video where we're going back and forth on the phone. And I'm like, why are you doing that? You're an idiot. What's wrong with you? And so it's like this comedy video. And he's like, off camera, he was like, yeah, I want to be able to branch out, and I don't want to be stuck in that one little spot. So I feel like, but he had a good audience. So for him, it was like smart. Like once you gain the audience, you can pretty much change your name into whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
And it will continue to evolve, you know? And to me, I think it's smart. Like find a certain niche and then end up where you're going to end up, you know? And it doesn't matter what anybody thinks because like I said, you're your own boss. Doesn't matter.
Your boss, Seth Bikes Hacks.
Yeah.
Look where he ended up.
Right?
Who's Seth?
Yeah. Oh my God. Such a nice guy too. I met him. Such a humble, nice dude.
Really?
Oh yeah.
He's from he rides or he rode where I ride. That's what I find amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I watch your videos and I find it you're a chef. I found that out. You really are into the production side though.
Yes.
Like you're not just some dude who goes, oh, okay, I got a GoPro and put on my chest.
No.
And then I'm going to put on a timeline and cut out the parts that I don't want, and I'm going to feed it to the audience. Like watching you work with that drone.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that that was a video, and I found that as a professional videographer, I found that interesting just to watch you learn.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That whole series was a big deal.
Yeah. And that production, like the production to you is very important.
100%. Yeah. And so what's funny, it's funny you say that because like for me, like you said, production is so important to me. Like that is like my drive is the production. And which kind of sucks sometimes is that production is not what people necessarily care about though. People with an eye notice it, but production is not what people care about. They care about
it. Kind of upsets me being a professional.
Right.
That I always say nobody cares about that anymore. But like just watching you and doing this as a professional, watching you get those shots. You were doing, I forgot. Sorry, I've been on a boat all day. You were you were doing something with your bike and you were showcasing this part.
Yeah.
And then you have the creative eye to know to get these different and my hats off to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate someone saying that.
But I really like that part of you is that you're not just putting it onto a timeline and then just in and out, cut out that part.
No, and for me, like that's why I would say also that's pretty much why my videos have stopped coming out so frequently, is because I would like to make a better video than to make a lot of videos now. Like I'm more and I've learned this, that if I just make a better video, I'll get better results instead of just putting it out every week. Because no joke, since I started YouTube from the beginning, from the first video to now, I've only missed 6 weeks for almost 3 years, 2.5, almost 3 years. I've only missed 6 weeks.
You were like
pumping them out. And then here's the thing. The first like 10 months, 2 videos a week. It was rough.
Wow.
It was rough. It was
hard. Your wife's got to be smacking you when you're.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. YouTube and.
Yeah, I couldn't. So I had to like just back off and think about quality. Like the last video I put out with the YT industry mill with Mark.
Yeah.
That was like a video that was planned. There was a script written. Mark and I went back and forth. Yeah. With like this.
I watched Mark's and he was like going over, you were like, I'm just going over the script and what I want.
Yeah. It was important. And like, it came out so good. I could never have done that video without Mark. Like it just, his being able to know everyone at the mill to get us in there, because they don't really let people do that. You're not really allowed to go there and film their showroom floor. It's not really a thing.
Oh, wow.
But
really?
He pulled a lot of strings to make that happen. Jeff Taylor, the main guy that runs YT in the United States, like the only YT place in the US. Jeff Taylor was in my video, did a little quick segment in there, which I appreciate Jeff so much for that. Thank you so much, Jeff. But it was just like Mark really pulled some strings to make that happen. And it was probably one of my best, production videos I've ever made.
Yeah, it was really well done. And I like people who, and you're right. Once you get your feet on the ground and you get that grip and you get your viewership, now you're like, okay, I've put out the quantity.
Yeah, that's exactly
what. And you seem to be kind of a geek about
Oh
the
yeah.
gear and stuff. You're like, you got your Insta 360s now. You've
Oh
got
yeah. Love
drones.
them.
What are you editing on?
So I always
Premiere?
use MacBooks. I always use MacBooks. Like I've just been using MacBooks for so long,
Uh,
or Mac in general. And I've been using those Final Cut Pro, like always Final Cut Pro.
yeah, I got this is Final Cut X right here.
Yeah, I love it. Final Cut Pro X is my favorite thing to edit on. But the new thing, when you start using 360 cameras, they have their own software, which changes everything. So, but most people shy away because of that reason. Yeah. Well, here's what I figured out.
Look, I've been doing this my whole career is shooting.
Yeah.
This is a learning curve.
Oh yeah.
And I'm having trouble finding the application for this thing at work.
What, it's like the actual software?
Like, why would I need this for news?
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is a lot of work and having to deal with and I was editing with the app on the phone.
Yeah.
I'm holding the button and I'm doing this.
No. That's where you went wrong.
Yeah.
Download the app to your computer and use it.
Yeah.
Whole new world. A whole new world for me. I hate doing it on the app. The only time I do it on the app is if I'm trying to do like reels, and that's it. It's the only time I try to use it.
I also and I'm not Insta 360. I think you have a phenomenal product. If you're watching, guarantee it. No one's watching that from Insta 360. The iris. I'll go from shade to bright sun.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
Blows out. And I actually I had this thing on my chest one time.
Yeah.
And I was riding. I wanted to get kind of a cool. I couldn't use it. I couldn't use the video because I was going in and out of shade and bright.
Yeah. You know what you have to do? Because like I need to still do an updated video on it because I finally learned how to use it. You have to go in and do manual settings on all of it. Set your aperture, set everything, your EV, everything. You have to set it and then build all these like little ones. Because there's only because I did the same thing. I went and did a video, like the first video I did or second video I did with it. And I was riding around in a forest where the light was coming in, then the light was going away and the light was coming in. And it was just like blown out yellow brightness.
Yeah.
Just like, God, this thing looks terrible. And I'm trying to compare it. You know what I mean?
We're geeking out right now.
Yeah. It's just one of those things, man. Like, you know, when you're doing YouTube, you're learning so much of what cameras do this, what cameras do that, what's going to give you the best, you know, feel for what your vision is, you know?
You've always done this for fun.
Yeah.
This has just been fun. You didn't care about did you care about it? Like to the point where like meaning.
I would say the ultimate fantasy is to like be successful enough to live off YouTube. Do I think that's going to happen? No, you know, at this point in time, no, because I have not found a niche that people want.
Yeah.
Or that are dying, that are chomping at the bit for it. I haven't found that yet. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Either way, I've been doing this for almost 3 years and I haven't stopped. So I don't really know where I'm going to end up, you know, but I like doing it and I don't have any intention to stop right now. So.
Yeah. I just went on. I wanted to see your subscribership. I didn't put it to memory. But you're doing solid.
Yeah. I mean, I got a decent following going. Yeah.
You're doing solid. I know our mutual friend and I bring him up because if you ever get angry,
at like making
ever
videos?
Seen him lose it?
Who, Mark?
Mark.
Never. I don't think he ever could.
I've got to get to a point where
no, he can't. He's the nicest guy I've ever met in my entire life.
It's because I joke because that same night that I met you, I met Adam Mock.
Yeah.
Do you know him as well?
Oh yeah.
I think the two of them could actually bring world peace.
Oh.
If you gave them a microphone and a bullhorn enough for the entire globe to hear.
Yeah. Mark
I just want to hear some dirt on him because honestly, I don't know if you guys are watching it. I'm not kidding. I want to see these two scrap.
Right. I met Mark because of the Trail Dogs, believe it or not. Right. And it was at a Sedona mountain bike festival. And Trail Dogs did a huge group ride, which was like, oh my God, the best and worst ride ever to do. Because we ran out of water halfway through and we had to pedal up 5 miles uphill. So it was rough. But I met Mark that day and I had kind of seen his channel a couple of times. And I was like, he's like, oh, I'm Mark from the semi. I'm like, yeah, I've seen yours. every now and then, but I wasn't really like following it, but I had seen it, it just happens, when you're into this community.
Yeah.
And I ended up palling around with Mark that whole day, like joking around with him, being funny, riding next to him. And like, we just had a blast. And then we just became friends that day. And then next thing you know, we're talking on Instagram all the time. And then we like, we're texting each other, just random things. And like, Mark's always like my go-to guy when it's like, hey, I'm coming to California. What are you doing? I always hit him up. And believe it or not, this last weekend, not this last weekend, but the weekend before when I was in California, I was so sad because Mark, I know you're watching right now and you know why I'm sad. The reason that I was sad is because he went to my dream place.
He went to Whistler.
He went to Whistler. And I actually held him up and said, hey, what are you doing this weekend? I want to ride with you. And he's like, I'm going to Whistler. And I was like, oh, no.
Oh, that's a mess.
Yeah.
No, he's so, and I know this is about you, but we know him mutually. I had him on my this really failing YouTube page.
It's not failing. It's the beginning.
And then he had me on his, and I met you. But even after my first one, he wanted my number.
Yeah.
He was calling me. He was sending me videos of him with other riders.
What Mark does, man.
He's like, hey, Johnny, I want to show you with all these. He was sending me videos with Adam and all the just.
Yeah, that's Mark, man. He's like, dude, he's like the best guy on the planet, man. I'm telling you, he really is.
So, but this is where I'm going with this is my wife and she's there, but she finds what I'm doing interesting. But what she finds more interesting is the community.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't talk about it enough. The fact that you're here now doing this for me or with me, but you're helping a brother out.
Absolutely.
So, and I met you through Mark. She was telling somebody today while we were on the boat, she was just like, this community of guys.
Oh, yeah. It's so tight.
She goes, Johnny's a little YouTuber, but somehow has made his way into.
He infiltrated the group, and here you are. You're part of this
SoCal group, I guess.
Yeah, right.
But it's also on Instagram too. I have a bigger, which is funny, man. I got a bigger.
It's weird.
It's bigger on Instagram, and you just go, hey, if everybody's following me on Instagram, could go over to the YouTube.
Yeah, it's really hard to do that, though. To be honest, like
not everybody's.
No,
not everybody's.
Yeah, and it's so funny to me. That blows my mind that I'm like, you're not on YouTube. You're not checking out YouTube. Like, what are you doing in your life? Because YouTube is what the second largest search engine in the world.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, that's when I got that, and you might know this from me being on Mark's thing, is that's how I got into this.
Yeah,
the same way you got into mountain biking during the COVID
downtime.
I guess I had so much downtime, and I'm like, I meet these dudes.
It's so wild too, because like you were interviewing like all these famous people. Like I watched your little segment that Mark put up, and I was just like, damn, this guy's meeting all the people. I was just like, how did he do it? That's awesome. I was fascinated with that because I love film. That's my thing.
Name him. I probably talked to him, but it was one of those like, this is more, I get 5 minutes. You get 5 minutes. You got someone sitting behind.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
And holding up a 4. Then a 3.
And
then they're doing this. They're right by you. They're in your eyesight. They can't. And you're like, well, I'm in the middle of a question.
Yeah.
Here, I get to ruin your entire evening.
And you'll enjoy it.
Yeah. But back to what we were talking about, and I'm doing this because I'm trying to figure out what my hands are again. This community is incredible. And I know you live somewhere other than SoCal, but do you still consider that your community
well, yes and no, because like I have a huge group of riders that I ride with in Phoenix.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I got I call them the AZ boys that I just hit up, and we got our own big group out here, and especially they come north when it's hot, like during summer, like all the boys come up here because they can't ride out there in Phoenix. It's brutal. There's only a few months out of the year that you can ride and enjoy it in Phoenix, or you're riding at dawn, or you're riding, whatever time the sun is not destroying you. So that's the one thing. So I have my Arizona boys, but my heart will always be in SoCal because that's where I'm from. That's where I was born and raised. That's where I grew up. So there's a big connection, when I do go to SoCal. And the thing is the community, like you said, like the community, when I call up everyone in SoCal, I'm like, hey, I'm coming in town. It's like every single person I call will either like come ride with me, or they'll be like, hey, I'm not gonna be able to go, but so-and-so is like gonna be there, so you should hit them up. You know what I mean? And so like there's always someone to ride with, no matter what.
That's amazing. And and I love watching those. Like they have, I guess, some rise and shine that they've been posting over there. Those kids over at Sky Park.
Oh yeah.
They do
The
Sky
Sky
Park
Park
rides, and I've seen you ride there.
Yeah, I've been there like 3 or 4 times. It's a pretty cool park. I hate climbing it though.
But the fact is, and people who are just getting into this. Sorry, I'm fixing something. Getting into this, and if they've lasted this long, if you're getting into this community, this riding, there is a community. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You guys out there, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
To watch you guys get together and have these ride and shines and different group rides where there's over 50 people.
Yeah, it's
I
wild.
mean, I almost get emotional when I watch you guys do it. It's incredible. Do you miss it?
It's so involved. Like it's just wild because like the last time I went to Sky Park and I hung out with Mark and everyone was there. It was the bike festival for Sky Park, and I was trying to make a video at the time. I'm still in the works of trying to put it out, but I got a bunch of footage of that, and it was wild how many people I met who were dying to see Ripper. And I was just like, that's not even like my channel. That's just a little piece that I did that all of a sudden blew up and took off. And then like, I'm like, what? I seriously have about 3.5 seconds into that whole entire thing. And now this is the thing that people are going, hey, is Ripper going to be here today? Is Ripper going to be here today? And I'm just like, well, I can't disappoint, you know what I mean? And so it was kind of like, oh God. So like, this is a thing. So I don't even know, like how I'm telling you, you never know where you're going to go and what direction on YouTube. I don't know. There might be another direction that I have to go to. I don't know. We'll see.
That's amazing. And it's a great segue. How did Ripper, or when did Ripper start riding with you? I don't know how to introduce Ripper.
A couple months ago.
Ripper
as a joke. It just happened.
And Ripper is it Ripper Dirty, Ripper Ryden?
Ripper Ryden.
Ripper Ryden.
Yeah.
So do you think that Ripper, is he around?
I mean, he might be. I mean, we live pretty close to each other now because he lives in an RV park. I live in an RV park, and
do you think?
But I think my wife is outside. I think he was going to stop by, so he might be here. I mean, let me go check. You want me to go check? I'll go see if he's here.
Go check. I'm going to go check to see if.
Yeah. You do what you're going to do.
This is where we'll just edit. Oh God! Here
comes what's going on over here? Says someone on the computer. I heard it was Johnny U on the computer, and he's a pretty good guy. So I was thinking about saying hi to him.
Hi.
Oh wow, who's this? Who's this
guy?
I'm
Crashing Karen.
Crashing Karen.
He's ripping riding. I'm Crashing Karen.
How you doing there, Crashing Karen? You're looking mighty fine.
Thank you so much.
So I'm Ripper Ryden. I'm the cousin. I'm just over here hanging out for a little bit. Got my pit vipers on. Got my new jersey, my Coors Light jersey.
Oh, that's nice. I really like that Coors Light. You look good in yellow.
I appreciate that. Yep. I like riding bikes. That's one of my things I like to do. So, what do you like doing?
I like riding bikes, but I ain't so good at it because that's why they call me Crashing Karen.
Karen, you better get good at it, okay? Because how are we going to ride together if you're crashing?
I'm trying so hard. Now, how long you been riding, Rippin'?
About 10 minutes.
About 10 minutes? You've been riding 10 minutes this week?
Yep.
Or just today?
Not just ever. Yeah, I'm pretty good.
I just hit this microphone. Johnny just left me this microphone. I don't even know what to do with it.
That's a big microphone you got there, little lady.
That's what they always say.
Yeah. So, Johnny,
Rippin, when did you start riding? What kind of bicycle do you ride, Rippin?
Right now, I got me an evil insurgent because I stole it from my cousin. He doesn't know that I stole it, but I got it.
So you're his cousin.
Yeah, I'm his cousin, and we don't hang out often, but we get together for family events, that kind of stuff.
Did you also steal his YT? I know he got a YT.
I mean, I heard he got it. I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna try and steal it. We'll see how that one goes.
YT, it's a nice bike game.
It's pretty nice. I couldn't afford one, but it's a good one though. I like it. I like it a lot.
I got a friend.
Who's that?
This is little Johnny.
Hey there, little Johnny. How you doing there, bud? How you doing there, little Johnny?
I'm just gonna put little Johnny down because he's making my hand warm.
Probably because you got it up his shirt.
How'd you get into riding bicycles?
I don't even know, man. I just been doing it since I was a little kid and just riding bikes and having fun and hanging out with friends. Just did it.
I'm real nervous because you seem like you're a little out of control.
A little bit sometimes, Sometimes I'm just a little bit out of control, but I really like Johnny U, so I wanted to come by and say hi to him,
You just seem like a party animal.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't have any beer right now because I haven't gone to the store to buy some, but I'm about to get some.
John left his energy drink. I'm just gonna take a sip of it because my lips are a little dry.
You don't want them dry lips; they ain't good for you. What's going on over there in Florida? You guys are wild up in there.
Oh man, I just had to catch my breath. You just take my breath away, sir. It's that mullet of yours. It's business in the front, party in the back.
That's right, ma'am. That is right. We don't mess around.
And that 80s hat, man, that takes me back to my fanny pack.
Yeah, you should still have one. They're pretty cool,
Well, I do, and that's
all right. That's what I'm saying.
Take my fanny pack. I'm just getting so embarrassed and nervous around.
Well, you look really good in them Goldilocks you got there, so I'm just gonna say that. I'm be honest.
You like my helmet because because I'm crashing all the time, sir.
Yeah, you got to protect that noggin. You don't want to have your brains falling out.
Ripping now, did Ryden Dirty ripping Ryden Dirty? I'm home messed up with that. Ripping, did Ryden Dirty, Erik, get you into Ryden Dirty?
Nah, I had to get him into riding because he was a loser, and I was like, you got to ride some bikes because I've been riding my whole life, and he's only been doing it for about 2 years.
So you inspired him.
Yeah, now he's not a loser anymore. Kinda. He's still a loser, but
now,
whatever.
Do you have a trailer like his? Are you trying to live like
he's living like a king in his, and mine isn't so good, but I'll get one day when I get sponsored by some company for just shredding that evil insurgent that I stole from
him. That's so special because it's nice to be inspired by somebody and to have goals.
Yeah, goals is where it's at. You should check out the video that I made or that he made, or it got made of me stealing his bike. It's a good one. You should check it out. It's a good one.
I'm going to check it out. Here's little Johnny again. Hi, everybody. I'm little Johnny. I'm saying hi to Rippin.
How you doing there, Johnny? Hi. You look like a little dork to me, but it's all good, man.
Hi, little Johnny.
Where everyone go?
Right.
Where's Johnny?
Hold on, Johnny I'm coming back.
I heard Johnny's here. Oh wow! Oh wow! Oh wow! You know what, Ripper?
Rippin, I want to tell you your fortune, Rippin.
Well, let's hear it.
I want to tell you your fortune.
God, is a big hat. So my little niece over here, she's hanging out. She wants to see it. She likes the hat too.
Uh-huh.
This little Miss Ruth right here.
Hi, Miss Ruth. How you doing?
Say hi, Ruth.
You want me to tell you your fortune? I'll tell you your fortune. Your uncle or cousin?
Uncle, well, yeah, whatever. I'm Uncle Ryden, Ripper.
He's going to be very successful one day. He's going to be sponsored by Coors.
Yep.
And look, Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Crush and Karen wants to say hi. She loves little girls. Hold on. Oh, this is a lot of work. I don't know how you keep this up. Hi. Hi, my name's Crash and Karen. I just met your Uncle Rippin, and he is so special. Rippin is so special. Let me tell you something. He is inspired. He is inspired by your father to get to ride. He's so much so he took your father's bicycle.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Decided to learn to ride as good as your pa. Are you?
Yeah, she rides bikes too. She's actually going to get a new bike soon because her dad, Erik, decided he's going to get her into riding really good. That way she can get sponsored because Eric's never going to be sponsored.
He ain't never going to get. Now I think. See, don't listen to Rippin. That is negativity, and you don't need that in your life. You need positivity.
Positive, yeah, whatever.
Hold on to that because you got to understand that you are the energy that you. I just banged my elbow.
That's what you get, Karen. You don't be telling me bad stuff.
The energy you put out into the universe, and you should be positive.
Yeah, watch this.
Where's your mom?
Show the universe a thing or two.
What do you think about Rippin? Hey, little girl, what you think about Rippin? Is he all right? She is a talker. Right. She is a talker. You know, it's the silent ones you got to be careful of.
Yeah, she's got them baby blues.
Let me see your baby blues. Oh my goodness. Bless her heart. What's up?
Karen, I can't even take it seriously right now.
Neither can I. I'm gonna bring back Johnny. Because I can't take me. Little girl, look at me when I say this. Are you looking at me? Bless your heart.
There he is, Johnny U, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, Johnny U.
Hello, everybody.
Johnny U, man, he's the guy that's from the Florida, just ripping apart them trees on the sandy beaches, riding bikes.
I am worn out. Is it dinner time?
It's about dinner time. You know what? Let me go get Erik real quick.
Oh, let's get Erik.
I gotta go and steal his other bike now. Hopefully,
get her little baby blues.
Right there.
Are you right here? Bite his finger.
I'll be back. I'll let her take over the show there.
Hold on, take over real quick. Hey, little girl. What's your name again?
Ruth.
Ruth, how you doing today?
Good.
Are you concerned about your father?
No.
He's funny, ain't he? He's a goofball, ain't he? And you're what, 8 years old?
7.
7. What does that put you in 12th grade or 11th grade?
2nd.
2nd? Oh, I thought you'd be getting in high school at that age.
No.
No. Are you on you in a summer break right now?
Yeah.
How you liking that?
A lot.
You like that a lot? Is
your dad going commotion going on?
Oh, there he goes. Is your dad going to you looking forward to learning how to ride a bicycle?
No.
Yeah, you are. What are you talking about? She's actually really good at riding, believe it or not. She just needs to get a bigger bike because she keeps outgrowing her bikes. She's growing by the minute.
Really?
Oh, it's insane. Like she had a little tiny bike, a little princess bike, grew out of that. Now she got the second bike, grew out of that. Now I'm thinking about getting her full on like geared mountain bike, little 24-inch tires and see how it goes.
What are you looking at getting her?
I'm thinking about getting her a common saw, believe it or not. Yeah. We got some pretty good ones. Either common saw or a specialized. I haven't decided yet.
A yellow and blue one.
A yellow and blue one.
The yellow and blue. Okay. I like that. I like that Dad's going to get you something decent. He's not going to
oh yeah, I don't spend a little money. I spend way too much every single time. Every single time I just spend more than I should. But you know what? You only live once. You gotta go for it all the way, you know.
We were just talking about that today on the boat. It's like I tell the story all the time. I bought the cheap, I got the first bike I could buy. I've always had a hardtail. COVID, all the bikes went. I bought the bike.
Oh yeah, they were all gone.
And now that they're back, and I'm looking at the YT Jeffsy.
Yeah, YT Jeffsy, man. I've seen it up in close in person. It's a phenomenal bike. Like like I actually consider maybe getting rid of a bike and getting the Jeffsy. I've definitely considered that.
It's one of those where and that's how I got my boat. It's for my 50th birthday. You live once.
Yeah, you can't.
And if you can afford it, I get people who can't, and it's not can I afford it and not spend that money and put it towards something else?
So what I always say is this: I have a philosophy that I say, and it's one of those things because I'm all about the universe, man. The universe will back you up and it'll tear you down all at the same time. So I always say, do I want to afford it?
Yeah, that's
the key. Do you want to afford it?
Yeah,
because you can.
If you want to afford it, you can. There's ways to afford. I know it's probably dinner time for you guys. I don't want to take up too much time. You and I'm so happy you posted this on Instagram. You share the same problem I have with music. No one will let me listen to what I want to listen to.
What do you want to listen to?
I want to listen to metal.
Yeah, that's me, man.
And everyone goes, seriously, do we? Or when you put it on, the person goes,
oh.
All your little Instagram things I connect with because I was.
Oh yeah. Yes.
I'm a 50-year-old metalhead. I wanted to play some. Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah.
And I was also playing Gojira. I recently got into them.
Yeah. They're pretty badass. I like that.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what's really funny? This is how funny it is. Like, so my favorite all time, I know we're off the rails now at this point, but I don't even care.
I love it. This
so
is where
my
I like
favorite metal band of all time is called the Black Dahlia Murder. That's my all-time favorite metal band. I've seen them live more than any other band. I've met them. I hung out with them. I've partied with them. Yeah, they're cool dudes. They're from Michigan.
I've heard of them.
And funny thing is that like when people when they meet me, they would never think I listen to metal ever. Like as a professional chef, when I'm at work, you would never know. I'm just really good at doing my job. I don't really, bring too much personal stuff into work. I just do my thing. But I am a full-blown metalhead. I have a giant tattoo on my back about yay big that says like the Black Dahlia Murder and this crazy death metal writing on my back. And like people don't ever believe me. And they're like, no way, it's not true. Because like I'm a full-blown metalhead. Like
and that's what's weird. I've done comedy for most of my career as a goofy movie critic and whatnot. I've done and people, I don't know where it comes from. Hey, I just pulled up my phone. This was the last song that I played on the boat that I got yelled at.
Nice. Oh, Spirit Box. They're from Canada. They're a dope band.
Yeah. And that was
she rips, dude.
And I was like, and everyone's like, I only had 3 other people on the boat, my wife and they were like, what is it? And I go, you'll never get, that's a woman singing.
Yeah, dude. I'm all about that.
Bring Me the Horizon, Ice Nine Kills. These are the last songs I just listened to.
I was actually because I was driving somewhere, and before I got here, I was before I got on the live right here, I was looking at new bands because a little tear to my eye. Black Dahlia Murder will not be a band anymore, so I was a little sad about that.
Oh.
And so I was trying to find bands that will be similar, that sound maybe similar, or something else I can like open up more bands. And I just found like a new band that I was just like, oh my God, these guys are it.
Code Orange.
They're called Alter Beast.
Alter Beast.
Yeah, they're brutal. They're brutal. And I was just like, oh, I'm digging this. And I don't even think they're a band anymore, but they're awesome.
Alter Beast. No, and it really is one of those things where you're part of that club or you're not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's no in between where someone will go, oh, you know what? It's Johnny. Seriously, no one else in the car wants to hear this.
I'm like, it's so funny because we did laps on the mountain today, right? And so I had my wife pick us up so we could shuttle back up, right? So I'm going down the mountain, in my car because I'm going to put it down at the bottom and then we'll put the bikes on there. And I'm like, just like total, like ripping metal, right? And then I get out and my wife's listening to like this beautiful love music. And I just get in the car and I start laughing. And she's like, why are you laughing? I'm like, because what I just got out of right now and then getting into your car music wise, You would not believe what just happened.
Although I will say my wife says I have the most eclectic, like I have Justin Timberlake.
Oh, dude, I'm a total JT fan.
I have every Frank Sinatra. I have,
yeah.
But my go-to is like I cut my teeth on Nine Inch Nails, Ministry.
Oh yeah,
Pantera.
Dude. Oh yeah.
You know, and then Deftones and
Deftones is my all-time favorite band ever.
Yeah, and one of those, and it's just like it's funny. There's no, and you always post that thing where people, it's a meme or whatever the reels where people are doing something. They just like you're going nuts and the person's looking at you just
dude, that's totally
they don't get it.
That's me. I'm that guy.
We're riding mountain bikes.
Yeah.
I'll pull up and it's screaming and my sunroof and the windows are open. It's and my friend is like, what?
You want to know something real funny? So this is kind of like a bad thing, you know, in mountain biking, when you're riding with a group of people, you kind of talk to each other and you got to be able to communicate, right? Well, I wear headphones when I ride, and it's not because I don't want to talk to people, but it calms me down. Like it makes me relax, because if I don't have music on, I ride terrible. Like no joke. It's one of those
like it helps you focus and get rid of all that.
Because I think too much, and like so I need a distraction. Like I'm very ADHD kind of person in general, so I need a distraction. And when I used to race motorcycles on the racetrack, I would get very nervous unless I put music on. So I would secretly inside my like leather suit put music on where no one could see it, and I'd go and race that way. It was the only way I could calm down and ride really good. And so that's transitioned into mountain biking as well. If I don't have music on, and it has to be hardcore metal playing for me to calm down. Like it's so crazy. And people who are not in this group that we're in have no clue. They're like, how do you do that?
It upsets me. I just wanted to get that out. I wanted to cleanse myself and let you know you're not alone.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I'm here with you, brothers in metal arms. You have 50 bikes. Do you know? Or
technically, I have 3.
Okay, so when I last saw you, you were in it looked like a garage.
Sold them all.
Oh, sold them all. I was going to say,
I sell them.
Where do you put them in the?
See, that's the big problem right now. I'm trying to figure out is that I can only fit about 2 in here. So that means I'll have to get rid of 2. Yeah. But I've decided that I'm going to have a storage unit. So,
Erik, thank you.
Absolutely.
I want to let you get back to your family. It's a Saturday night where you are. It's what, 5:30?
5:30 here. Yeah. What time is it there? 8:30?
It's 2:00 in the morning here.
Oh God.
No, but I want you to have some, cooked dinner, sushi and Italian for your kid who you're very blessed. That is a very sweet child right there. And the fact that she played a lot. Okay.
She just had to show you that. She wanted you to see that.
She has just one-upped us. I've been talking to your father for over an hour and you just pop up and you're going to one-up us?
Just like that.
Look at that. Look at that.
You jumped right in there.
Oh, man. You're blessed. I thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Seriously.
Really? Again with this one?
Right?
Thank you so much. I'll throw your Instagrams.
Oh, man. Appreciate it. Much appreciated.
And your YouTubes and everything.
All the things.
All the things. I seriously, man, it was a pleasure and it was so fun.
Thank you. Yeah, Johnny, I was really stoked to come on. I was honored the moment you told me that you wanted me to come on the show. I was super happy. So
shut up.
Thank you for letting me be on there and having some fun. And you need to get your butt down to SoCal one of these days so we can have a cool adventure, some bike riding.
I got to tell you, my wife wants to, because my wife's a bigger fan of you guys than I am. I actually really.
You got to bring her as well. I'll bring my wife. They can ride together.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Take care.
All right, brother. Take it easy.